This story is about a bad experience I had while camping on the beach with my boyfriend. We thought it would be a nice idea to camp on the beach instead of staying at a hotel. I had always wanted to sleep while hearing the waves hit the shore, see the night sky whenever I wanted, and just live this experience at least once in my life. We planned to stay in our tent for a week. The area had public restrooms with showers and nearby restaurants, so hygiene and hunger weren't issues. We bought all of the supplies we needed: a 2-person blackout tent, an inflatable mattress, a first aid kit, lanterns for the tent, etc. The first few nights went smoothly. We enjoyed every moment. We always took all our valuables with us in backpacks in case anything happened to our tent: phones, chargers, wallets, etc. We weren't the only campers in the area. There were plenty of other people, including singles, couples, and even families. Some behaved badly, but it didn't bother us at first. At night, we occasionally heard people laughing, partying, dancing, listening to music, smoking weed, taking drugs, or drinking heavily. We didn't mind since no one had bothered us for the first 4 days and nights. People were just having fun. One night, we stayed out later than usual, around 1 a.m., wandering the lively streets, listening to street performers, eating out, and such. At one street performance, we noticed a middle-aged woman dancing completely naked in the middle of the crowded street. She was clearly affected by alcohol and/or drugs. She was incoherent, randomly flirting with people, and exposing herself while dancing to the music, despite the discomfort of the musician and passers-by. We didn't pay much attention and decided to head back to our tent to have a drink in silence while watching the stars and falling asleep to the sounds of the ocean. As we drank, we heard a woman shouting in the distance. It was the same woman we had seen earlier, but she wasn't alone. She had friends with her, 2 men and 2 women. They had a camp set up on the same beach, a few tents away from us, but close enough that we could hear and see them. They lit a fire on the beach and continued to drink, smoke, and dance around it. The woman was still naked, but now wore a see-through skirt. She went into the ocean for what seemed like an eternity. I remember thinking, how is she not cold? The water must be freezing. My boyfriend shrugged and told me not to be bothered. He said if we didn't engage with them, they wouldn't annoy us. So I did as told, but I always felt as if I was being watched. We decided to sleep, leaving the tent partially open with just the mosquito cover zipped so air could circulate and the morning sun could wake us early. I don't recall how long I had been sleeping, but I was awoken by footsteps circling our tent and a woman's voice humming softly. The tent wasn't very thick, so I could hear everything outside. I was too afraid to look out or even move, not wanting to indicate that I noticed their presence. I lay still, looking outside through the mosquito cover. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped above my head, and the voice whispered, "Don't be afraid. I only want to sing you a lullaby." Then the footsteps began circling the tent again. I saw her feet in front of our tent, noticing the familiar long, see-through skirt blowing behind her. The next morning, we packed up our tent and moved to a different area of the beach, as far away as possible from that woman and her friends. I'm not a big believer in ghosts or anything superstitious, but something strange happened when I was about 10 years old. I was on vacation with my family and relatives in the Philippines. Many old folks there have creepy, superstitious beliefs. My cousin and I decided to walk around the beach at night. It was quiet and calming. The beach resort had a strict rule against swimming at night for safety reasons, as there were no lifeguards past 6 p.m. One thing that bothered me was when my mom was talking to the resort owner. The owner looked agitated and told my mom that something bad was about to happen. At first, I thought it was just a way to keep guests in line. Later that night, another family arrived for their vacation. While checking in, the kids were excited and running around, eager to swim. It was already 5 p.m., and my mom asked me and my cousins to take a shower and prepare for dinner, so we did. After dinner, my cousin and I decided to walk around and look for starfish that had washed up on the shore. There was a bridge leading to the ocean that looked like a pier, but was empty. As we walked under it, my cousin froze and swore she saw a faceless little girl sitting alone under the bridge. At first, I thought she was joking, but she insisted that the girl was there. Creeped out, we walked back to the resort. On our way back, we saw people diving into the water, seemingly swimming. I suddenly remembered the resort's rule against swimming past 6 p.m. As we got closer, we heard the other family yelling for help. My mom and my aunt ran towards us and hugged us tightly. Confused, we asked what had happened. They were just thankful we were safe, but explained that 3 kids from the other family had gone missing. They found one kid who had almost drowned, but survived. The other 2 were missing until the next morning, when they were found dead across the island. We then told our moms about what my cousin had seen the night before. They explained that the resort owner had told them about a young girl who had died when she fell from her dad's small boat and got her face shredded by the propeller. It's said that the girl, whom my cousin saw, has been taking children's lives every year on the anniversary of her death. I'm 20 years old now, and after that vacation, my cousin and I stopped talking to each other. She changed and always picked fights with me at family gatherings. This experience left a lasting impact on both of us, and the memory of that eerie night still haunts me.